So we got some movement in the Victor Osimhen situation. Of course, last time we talked about Victor Osimhen, well, let's go back to the start of the situation. He played at Galatasaray last season. He was on loan from Napoli. After the loan finishes, of course, you have a year left with Napoli, and you're trying to make that move to somewhere else. Al Hilal, Saudi Pro League club, Al Hilal came up. They negotiated with Napoli. Seems like there was an agreement with Al Hilal and Napoli. Then with Victor Osimhen backed out of the deal. He said he doesn't want to go to Al Hilal. He wants to stay in Europe. So that was the situation we were in. Then no other clubs really came up. Let's keep it real. No other clubs came up. The last time I talked about this situation, Al Hilal had come back into the picture. But I'm guessing that didn't work out for Al Hilal. And right now, what we're hearing is that Victor Osimhen could be on the verge of joining Galatasaray again. We start from a Nigerian journalist this time. Buchi Laba, the man that told us about Victor Osimhen turning down Al Hilal in the first place. He came out with this tweet yesterday. He said, exclusive, Victor James Osimhen says yes to Galatasaray and wants to continue with the Turkish team. Napoli for weeks have been pleading with Victor Osimhen to stay. That's crazy right there. Didn't know that. Osimhen has made it very, very clear, that he wants to leave. Galatasaray and Napoli are currently in negotiation for payment of a release clause. More information coming soon, and this is the more information. Said personal terms agreed between player and club, meaning Victor Osimhen and Galatasaray. 3-year contract. Victor Osimhen rejects offers from top European clubs to return back to Galatasaray. He was convinced by the project Galatasaray building. Galatasaray and Napoli have been in negotiation for payment of a release clause for days now. Soon, and deal will be 100%. So what we're hearing is that Galatasaray and Victor Osimhen have come to an agreement. Victor Osimhen wants to remain or rejoin Galatasaray for next season. Of course, he won the league, won the cup double, led the league in goals. So he's trying to pick up from where he left off. I think we've talked about this on this channel. This will be a real tough season in the Turkish Super League. Probably the best season ever. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because I've not been a Turkish Super League fan forever, so I couldn't really tell you. But I'm thinking, with the amount of firepower the teams are bringing in, you see Besiktas with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you see Fenerbahce with Jose Mourinho. These top coaches are bringing in top players. It's going to be tough. Even Trabzonspor just signed Paul Onuachu. So it's going to be tough over there in the Turkish Super League. So this is really interesting. Victor Osimhen joining would really be a big cap on that situation right there. Then you got the post made by Fabrizio Romano. Let's clean it all up with the post made by Fabrizio Romano, and this is it right here. Galatasaray will approach Napoli again for Victor Osimhen with proposal after 60 million euros turned down. So Galatasaray proposed a 60 million euros deal to Napoli. Napoli want more money, and it seems like their payment plan that Galatasaray is trying to do it on, because Galatasaray is obviously not going to drop 60 million euros just flabab like that. They're going to try to make a payment plan, but it seems like Napoli were not with the payment plan that Galatasaray is trying to come up with, and that is another situation right there. Then we go back to the tweet that the Nigerian journalist came out with, Buchi Laba.
Which, by the way, you got to give a big shout out to Victor Osimhen, because he's making sure that a Nigerian journalist is basically breaking the story. You even go back to his move from Lille to Napoli. It was a Nigerian journalist that broke that story. So this is definitely not a coincidence type situation. This is Victor Osimhen trying to make sure that people back home are eating. So definitely a big shout out to him for that one. But from the report, it seems like Napoli is trying to get Victor Osimhen to stay, and that could be the reason why they're trying to make sure or trying to stop any move possible for Victor Osimhen out of Napoli.
I don't know what the point in trying to get Victor Osimhen to stay is. I mean, you're already trying to get 60 million euros for this man, even more than 60 million euros for this man, and he only has a year left on his contract. If he decides to stay, what's really going to happen? But then, if Victor Osimhen does stay, you have 1 year left on your contract. If they're trying to get him to stay, and they just want him to stay like that, I would take that. I think I would take that. I would just stay, act like I'm going to sign a contract, then midway through the season be like, I made my mind up, I'm going to leave the club, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's what I would do if I was Victor Osimhen. As far as Galatasaray, of course, I'm a fan of Galatasaray. I'm a fan of their fans. I'm a fan of their country. I'm a fan of everything Turkish football, to be honest. They did a great thing for us last season, taking Victor Osimhen. And I felt like Victor Osimhen did a great thing for the Turkish Super League and Galatasaray by joining. So it was a great marriage right there between the two parties. And with that being said, I still, if I could stay at Napoli for this one season, end my time with Napoli, no more deal, leave on the free, I would rather take that. But then, of course, you got Galatasaray saying, just play with us for a season or two, we'll sell you to the Real Madrids. But we've heard that story before. That's my whole thing about all these under-the-table deals, handshake deals, wink-wink type deals. We've heard that before. That's exactly how we're in this position that we're in right now. Napoli told Victor Osimhen, sign this deal with us. When the big clubs come for you, we'll just let you go. No problem at all. And here we go. 2 years later, problems at all. A lot of problems. So, not too sure this is going to work out, the Victor Osimhen Galatasaray situation, but it is real close. I will keep you guys updated on any latest from this situation. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure to like this video. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.